Untitled YouTube. My name's Bohane. This guitar lesson is about blues backing, and it's about chords to go with your minor blues scale. We're going to look at playing blues in A, which means your blues scale is based on the 5th fret. And the chords we're going to look at are what's called a 1-4-5 progression in A. And it contains the chords A7, D7 and E7. And you can find these chords on the diagram if you follow a link at the side. Now it's good to know what notes these chords contain. If you know what these notes are, when you play your blues scale you can actually highlight some of these notes as you play. And some of these notes lie outside the blues scale, and we call those sweet notes, and we'll be looking at those in a later lesson. So the first thing is understanding what the notes are in the chord. So we take A7. The first note we call the root note, and that's A, and the others are easy to find. You simply skip a letter in the alphabet each time. So A, skip to C, and we sharpen that one, so we've got C sharp. And then we skip to E, and then we skip to G. So the first note is called the root note, A. The next one is called the third, that's C sharp. The next one's called the 5th, and that's called E. And the last one's called the 7th, and that's called G. So that's notes A7. D7, we use the same technique. We start with the root note D, and then we skip to F sharp, and then next in the musical alphabet becomes A, and then next is C. And then we go on to the E7 chord. The first note is E, the root note E. The next note, the third, is G sharp. The 5th of the chord is B, that's the next one. And the last one, the 7th of the chord, is D. So each chord has 4 notes, a first, a third, a 5th and a 7th. Next we'll look at the structure of the 12-bar progression itself. And I'll just strum a very simple 12-bar. It's A for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. D7 for 2, 1, 2, A7 for 2, 1, 2, E7 for 1, D7 for 1, A7 for 1, E7 for 1. And that's 12 bars altogether. That's your traditional 12-bar blues. Now it is a bit of a cliche, but it's a really good idea to learn a bit about improvising on top of these chords, because the principles you use in this you'll be able to apply to improvising over any other chords in keys. Now I've got a backing on CD, which is the same, it's blues in A, and I'll play on top of it and I'll just talk it through again. So A for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, D for 2, A for 2, E for 1, the next thing to try over your backing is to try blues scale. Just straight up and down. Start that. Now you probably notice that the blues scale seems to fit really, really well over those chords. particularly the A7 chords and the D7 chords. Now the reason for that is partly because they have certain notes in common. For instance, the blues scale contains the notes A, C, D, E flat, E and G. And that all starts again: A, C, D, E flat, E, G, etc. So, in common with the A7 chord, it has the A, the E and the G. It has three notes in common: the A, the E and the G. In common with the second chord, it has D, A and C. Again, three notes in common: D, A and C. And in common with the third chord, it has only two notes in common. It has E and D. So the reason it gels, particularly with the A7 and D7 chord, is that it has notes in common. But it also has notes that clash with the chords. But these notes give a sense of tension or a sense of dynamics. They cause tension, but then they resolve to a note that harmonizes with the chord. The E7 chord only has two notes in common with the scale, and so it doesn't go so well to play A minor blues on top. So later on we'll be looking at other ways to handle this. We'll be looking at playing a different scale on a C sharp minor or an E major scale. But don't worry about that yet, that's for a later lesson. So for the time being, try and learn the notes that these chords contain and just practice your blues scale on top. Also try some phrasing, some short phrases, some slides and some bends. And just experiment, see how those sound over the blues backing. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about finding root notes in the blues scale. That means we're going to find the root note of A, which is of course A, the root note of D, D, and the root note of E, E. And these are all inside the blues scale. And we'll be looking at finding these notes and starting or ending phrases on them to emphasise the particular chord that you're playing over. So that's the next lesson. So have fun with that. Oh, by the way, the backing I used was called Secret Place, and it's on the in the Rock School group, books, grade 4, track 12 in the grade 4 book, and you can buy that from most big music shops. Okay, so that is blues backing. See you next time. Bye.